Why is everyone flocking to Columbia, South Carolina? Stay tuned and I'll show you why. The city of Columbia and Richland County each got $1.5 million from the South Carolina Rural Infrastructure Authority, part of a $34 million state program. The money is going into water and sewer and stormwater upgrades, which are key for health and economic growth. When local government invests in infrastructure, it shows confidence in the area's future. South Carolina also hit a record $8.2 billion in capital investment in 2024. With over 5,500 new jobs announced statewide, many of these jobs match the lifestyle Columbia offers, which we'll dive into when we talk about neighborhoods. Major employers are expanding near Columbia, like Kimberly-Clark investing over $200 million in nearby Aiken County, bringing 150 plus new jobs. Air-Sys Cooling Technologies announced a new global headquarters here, and companies like Lift Technologies and Eastern Engineered Wood Products are also making big investments. Now here's the best part. Columbia is growing fast, but it's still affordable. You're getting the benefits of a strong economy, more job opportunities, and major institutions like USC. But you're not paying the high prices you'd find in Charleston or Greenville. Smart buyers and investors are starting to see this, and it's putting Columbia on their radar. But what does affordable really mean in a market like this? Because once you see the numbers, you'll understand why this city is turning heads and why it might be the right time to get in before the rest of the crowd catches on. Now, I'm telling you, Columbia's growth story is just the tip of the iceberg. I break down these markets every week, from Lake Murray's waterfront deals to hidden gems downtown. If you're serious about South Carolina real estate, go ahead and hit subscribe while it's on your mind. Think of it as your first investment in Columbia. Free for you, but it could be worth thousands if you catch these trends early. Now let me show you what this growth is doing to our housing prices. Here's where things really get interesting for buyers. Columbia is growing so fast, you'd think housing prices would be sky high, right? But that's the twist I'm excited to share with you. Columbia is growing while staying surprisingly affordable. I'm about to break down some price points that'll make you wonder why more people aren't jumping on this. Once you see what your money buys here compared to other South Carolina cities, you'll see why I call this an affordability advantage. The median home list price in Columbia was $263,000 in May of 25. That's almost a 10% increase from last year. Before you think that sounds high, let me put it in perspective. In Charleston or Greenville, you'd pay much more for a similar home. Columbia is a major metro area with a strong university, growing job market, and solid infrastructure. The prices here still make sense. This mix of affordability and lifestyle benefits, which I'll share more about when we talk Southern Charm and University Energy, is why this market is special right now. The median price per square foot in Columbia is $149, which is a solid value. The neighborhood breakdown is even more interesting. Forest Acres is just a few minutes from downtown Columbia and has a $300,000 median price point. West Columbia is at $275,000 with a 15% increase, showing steady growth. Blythewood is just under $400,000 with an 8% increase, and there's a lot of new construction here. Families are moving in for newer homes and community feel. Irmo is also worth a look at $330,000. That number might surprise you, but Irmo has been stable for years and is getting its due. Chapin is at $440,000, and Lake Murray on the lake is pushing $850,000 for a median price point. But here's what most realtors won't say about lake property. The prices aren't driven by hype. These buyers know the long-term value of water access and premium living. Market conditions are good for buyers who know what they want. Homes are selling in about 39 days on average, and that's quick, but not the frenzy you see in overheated markets. Inventory jumped quite a bit in May of 2025, hitting 1,400 homes. This means buyers now have more options and room to negotiate. What I'm seeing is a balanced market. Supply and demand are about even. That's different from a seller's market that shuts out buyers, and it's different from a buyer's market that signals trouble. All these factors are why I see Columbia as a strong option compared to other South Carolina brothers and sisters. We'll dig deeper when we compare Columbia to Charleston and Greenville later. Right now, Columbia is finding that sweet spot where homes move, but buyers don't get squeezed. We've covered the numbers, the growth, and the housing market, but you might be wondering what it's like to actually live here. Because let's be real, a good investment isn't just about price, it's also about the quality of life. And that's where Columbia really shines in ways that surprise people. The mix of university energy and Southern charm creates a lifestyle that's hard to find anywhere else in South Carolina. Let me show you what makes living in Columbia so special. Once you feel the vibe here, those market numbers I shared will make even more sense. You know what most people don't hear about Columbia until they've spent real time here? It has a perfect sweet spot you just can't fake. I call it the best of both worlds. On one side, you've got the energy and fresh ideas from the university culture. On the other hand, you've got real Southern charm that makes you feel welcome from day one. Most cities lean one way or the other, but Columbia blends these two in a way that feels natural, not forced. It's something you need to see to get it. But let me tell you what sets Columbia apart from other growing cities. This isn't your usual college town. USC is a big part of Columbia with 38,500 students bringing energy, culture, and dining options. Here we are in 5 Points. This is just a short walk from campus. Of course, that's the famous 5 Points fountain. Big St. Patrick's Day parade here in March, of course, and it's just another big hangout for college students. But it doesn't take over the city like it does in some places. And of course, no trip to Columbia, South Carolina would be complete without coming down to Williams-Brice Stadium and seeing a Gamecock football game. Downtown Columbia is coming alive. New restaurants, venues, and events are bringing people in and creating a more lively feel. More projects are planned for the next 5 years, and I'll share those with you later in this video. This growth is happening because people want walkable places and more things to do. USC helps Columbia's economy and keeps the city active all year. Columbia doesn't just slow down when students leave for the summer. The university's research and year-round programs support businesses and restaurants even when classes aren't in session. Historic neighborhoods like Elmwood, Arsenal Hill, Shandon keep their charm while growing in value. These areas are close to everything and are in demand as usual. You can live in a historic home and walk to shops and restaurants. Columbia's food scene surprises many people. Decker Boulevard is called the International Corridor because of its many types of food. You can find Greek, Italian, Mexican, Indian, Chinese, Vietnamese, and Southern food here. I am here in the Vista at Hall's Chop House, one of my favorite restaurants in all of Columbia. We're going to talk about great steaks and seafood, and the sides here are unbelievable. It's on the corner of Main and Gervais Street, and there are several restaurants and shops on Gervais between Main and Assembly Street. And so when you look for Gervais Street, you have to know how to spell it. It's Gervais. It's French. Couple of French streets down here. Make sure you check out Hall's Chop House when you come to Columbia, South Carolina. For a city this size, that's impressive. Columbia also has many outdoor activities. The city invests in parks and river areas, adding trails and improving access to water. Lake Murray offers boating, fishing, and waterfront dining all year. You get water access without paying coastal prices. Southern hospitality is real here. Newcomers often talk about how friendly people are, from waves on the street to offers of help. This warm welcome makes it easier for families moving in and helps people feel at home. Lastly, Columbia is only a couple-hour drive from the beach or the mountains, making it super easy to get away for the weekend. With all these lifestyle benefits I've been talking about, you might be wondering where in Columbia you should start looking. Like any growing city, Columbia isn't just one big area. It's a mix of neighborhoods, each with its own feel, price, and perks. The key to finding your perfect spot here is knowing which area fits what you want. Let's take a look at these local neighborhoods. Choosing the right area can be the difference between just living somewhere and truly loving where you live. Not all Columbia neighborhoods are the same, obviously. Here's my local guide to help you focus your search. Loving Columbia is one thing, but knowing where to put down roots is a whole different game. I'm about to take you on a neighborhood tour that most visitors never see. Each part of Columbia has its own feel, hidden gems, and price sweet spots. Some areas are busy with new homes, others have historic charm. A few places even offer that perfect mix that's rare in today's market. I've helped hundreds of families find their match in these neighborhoods. Now I'm going to show you what makes each one special so you can find the one that fits you best, grabbing up those properties. The downtown and university area is in high demand with students, faculty, and young professionals. New mixed-use projects are bringing urban lifestyle options you might not expect in Columbia. Downtown keeps growing with new homes, shops, and restaurants. This is because it's near USC and major employers. It's not just student housing here. You'll find lofts, new apartments, and townhomes for people who want to walk to work and fun spots. And unlike some other cities like Charleston and Greenville, which we'll talk about here in a minute, these urban perks come at a much lower price. Historic districts are some of my top picks for buyers who want charm and a central location. Elmwood, Arsenal Hill, and Shandon have character you can't get with new homes. They're close to downtown, so you can walk or drive a short distance to restaurants and shops. These areas hold value because there aren't many homes for sale, and the location is always good. Columbia's suburbs each have their own feel and price. Blythewood is great for families who want new homes and community amenities, along with folks that are stationed at Fort Jackson. You get newer homes, often with more land and many parks and activities. It feels suburban, but it's close enough for easy commutes. Irmo has well-established neighborhoods that attract buyers looking for stability and a community feel. The market is now catching up with what locals have always known about its quality of life. Lexington offers a growing suburban area with good value and more space. I am here at downtown Lexington, South Carolina, just strolling through the main street where you have a lot of shops and restaurants. It's just really kind of a quaint little town. Now, traffic through here during the weekdays can be a little rough, but it's a nice relaxed atmosphere at night. So you can come down here and get a drink or eat dinner. The courthouse and DMV and all that is down here, tax assessor and so forth. You know, downtown Lexington is probably 20 minutes from downtown Columbia as well, and very close to Lake Murray. It is growing, but you can get a bigger home for your money here than in some parts of Columbia, while still being close enough to downtown and USC for easy commutes. The area has many amenities that make it a good choice for families. The Lake Murray area, including Chapin and Lexington, is the premium lifestyle market. Lakefront homes here cost more for a reason. You're buying into a lifestyle with water access, top amenities, a view, and a community that enjoys leisure activities. Home prices on Lake Murray generally range from $600,000 on up into the millions. That might sound pricey, but they are often a better deal than lakefront homes in other markets. We've covered Columbia's best neighborhoods, so you've got a good sense of your options here. But I know some of you are thinking, how does Columbia compare to other big cities in South Carolina? And that's a fair question. Charleston, of course, has the coast and Greenville has the mountains. Now, Columbia is a couple hours away from each one, and both get more attention in the news. But when you see the numbers side by side, you might be surprised at how Columbia compares. I'm going to show you exactly how our city stacks up against these South Carolina hotspots. Once you see these comparisons, you'll understand why I think Columbia is one of the best values in the state right now. Let's have some fun with the South Carolina showdown. Charleston has harbor views, Greenville has a lively downtown, and both get a lot of attention. Is all that hype worth it? I've worked with many clients who first wanted to live in these headline cities, and then they saw what their money could buy in Columbia. It's like finding an underdog has been the winner all along. When we compare these cities on things that really matter for your daily life and your money, Columbia starts to look different. It's not just the city you drive through. It might be the city you should have been looking at all along. Let me show you this comparison in a way that might change how you see South Carolina real estate. Columbia's median home price, as I mentioned before, is $263,000. This is much lower than in Greenville or Charleston, and you're not giving up a good life or job chances. You're just getting a better deal. Columbia's population growth rate is around 1.5%, which is higher than other cities. Growth is good, but it's even better when it's steady. Columbia is adding new residents and jobs without the traffic or high prices that can happen with fast growth. This steady growth is one reason I believe Columbia's best days are ahead. I'll show you more about the next 5 years of growth later. You're getting the benefits of a growing city without the growing pain. USC gives Columbia something the other cities don't have. As I mentioned before, the university brings $4.2 billion in economic impact to this area. This creates a strong and diverse economy. It's not just built on tourism, factories, or one type of job. This afternoon, I thought I would bring you down to the Horseshoe at the University of South Carolina, Gamecock Nation. So this is kind of the central part of campus, kind of an open area. If school were in session, you would see students just jam-packed throughout this Horseshoe. And just kind of a gathering place for all the USC students. Columbia is also investing in its future. The city got that $1.5 million grant for its infrastructure upgrades, and this shows smart planning for growth. Other cities that grow too fast often have problems with their roads and utilities, and Columbia is planning ahead. The cost of living here is another plus. Columbia's cost of living is about 10% lower than the national average. Housing is about 30% cheaper than the national average, and utilities, although they cost 13% more, transportation costs are 18% less. less. Groceries are also a little cheaper here. This means your money goes further. The real question isn't which city is better, it's which city that fits your needs. If you want to live near the beach and don't mind paying more, Charleston's a good choice. If you want to be there near the mountains, Greenville is awesome. But if you want a stable economy, great schools, culture, and homes you can afford, Columbia gives you all that. Columbia also has a strong job market. There are jobs in government, education, healthcare, and the private sector. The city is not tied to just one type of job. The unemployment rate here was 3.7% in May of 2025, which is lower than the state and national averages. We've seen how Columbia compares to Charleston and Greenville right now, but what about the future? When you make a real estate move, you're not just buying for today, you're investing in tomorrow. And that's where Columbia's story gets even better. While some markets might be peaking, Columbia is just hitting its stride. The city is laying the groundwork for something special, and most people haven't even noticed it yet. Let me show you what's coming for Columbia in the next 5 years. When you see the projects and growth plans, you'll see why I believe Columbia's best days aren't behind us. They're right ahead. Columbia's growth is strong now, but just wait until you see what's next. USC will keep growing. More students and research will bring demand for homes and shops and services. This is not just about student housing. New faculty, research programs, and graduate students will bring people who want to stay for good. USC is becoming a top research school. It brings in federal money, company partnerships, and talent from around the country. This brings new businesses, consulting jobs, and high-paying work to the city. Downtown is adding new projects and student housing. Roads and utilities are getting upgrades too. People want to live in walkable areas, and Columbia is building for that need. The city is getting $1.5 million for upgrades for infrastructure, and this helps current residents support growth. It may not sound exciting, but good infrastructure keeps a city strong. Columbia will keep growing because people and businesses are moving here. South Carolina is the third fastest growing state, and Columbia benefits from that. There are many projects planned downtown and in the suburbs. New housing and mixed-use projects are coming. This shows that both the public and private sectors believe in Columbia's future. Columbia's economy is also getting more diverse. It does not rely on one type of job. USC is a big anchor, but healthcare, technology, services, and manufacturing are growing too. This keeps the economy stable and brings people with different careers and income levels. All these growth factors come together to create something special in Columbia. And it's still early. While other South Carolina cities might be at their peak, Columbia is just starting to rise. This gives a rare chance to people who see the potential before everyone else. So what does this mean for you if you're thinking about moving to Columbia or investing here? Well, folks, it means you have a rare chance to get into a growing market before everyone else sees it. Columbia is that sweet spot where growth meets affordable prices. It's where the energy of the university mixes with Southern charm, and your real estate dollar goes a lot farther than in those big headline cities. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I'm telling you the signs are clear. The smart money isn't chasing the obvious spots anymore. If you're thinking about Columbia or anywhere in the Midlands, give us a call at the Downing Group. We know these neighborhoods well, and we'll help you find what you're looking for. My email is brentd@thedowningteam.com. We answer calls day and night, weekdays and weekends. Whether you're moving for work, buying your first home, or adding to your investments, we'll guide you through this market and show you the chances most people miss. Next week, I'm doing something special that you'll want to see. I'll take you inside Columbia's most exclusive neighborhoods, the places where the ultra-wealthy live in our city. You'll get a rare look at what life is like in Columbia's most high-end areas. If you've ever wondered where the top 1% in our city live, you won't want to miss this. So turn on these notifications so you don't miss it when it drops, and have a great week.